Hello, it is 7:02 a.m. I'm sitting outside. You can see the reflection behind me of the houses and stuff. If I do that, you can maybe see just down here there's a lake and then mountains up here. I am not at home, but today is May 1st, and that means it is the start of the Tea Knit Along 2025. I'm adding 2025 because I don't know if this is something we'll do every year, if I'll get into the tea knitting mood every year. But I'm just grounding it in a year for the future in case that's necessary. But yeah, I am excited to cast on my tea. And I thought that today, what a great time to do a little vlog and take you with me as I cast on that tea. There is one little problem. I'm not at home and I didn't bring my yarn. I am returning home today. So the first part of this vlog, I'll show you maybe a little bit of the travel. We're about 3 hours from home. Beautiful, beautiful area that we are here. And then when I get home, I will make the final decision. If you saw my post on YouTube, you will have seen that I was tossing up between 3 colours. I think I am going to do the dark green, which still has a real vibrancy to it. So I think I'll do that one and cake that up, get the needles and start. So that will be this afternoon or this evening before I actually start the knitting, but hopefully I'll be able to cake up before the kids go to bed so that I can get straight into knitting. And since I believe it's a top-down construction, I should get into the lace before bedtime tonight. So yeah, I thought I'd do a little bit of a 12 days of Christmas style vlog here for the beginning of the Tea Knit Along. If you are joining in, I'd love to know what you have cast on or what you're planning to cast on or what you're planning to work on if you're not casting on a new thing. I am starting this one today, but I may yet cast on another 1 or 2 teas before the end of the Make Along. The Make Along runs, I've decided, from the 1st of May to the 30th of June. You don't have to finish anything, it's participatory, and I did make a Revelry group and therefore a Revelry thread where you can both talk about what you're making or what you're planning to make, and also if you do finish something in that time, you can pop photos in a finished object thread too. I'll probably do a couple of prizes, maybe one from both from the chatter thread and one from the finished object thread. I haven't really thought about it. This is just, I wanted to knit a tea. Ange from Yarn and Yarns decided to join me, and then a few other people have jumped on as well. So it's just low-key, have fun, knit something or crochet something, make a tea. I will show you a little bit of where I am now, but it's a beautiful little town called Kluszkowce in the south of Poland, right next to the Slovakian border actually. And this is where I have sat every morning that we've been here. And some of those mornings were -1. So I do have my shawl, I have a blanket wrapped around my legs, and I have my knitting. So yeah, I didn't bring my tea stuff to this getaway because I knew that, well, basically I knew that I was coming home the day that it started. So I didn't want to bring everything over. Maybe slightly regretting it now, but also I've made a lot of progress on other things, and I knew if I had the tea stuff here, I would be wanting to cast on before May 1st. So that's all right. I've probably got another 15-20 minutes of knitting here, and then I'm going to have breakfast and pack up and hit the road.
So this is meant to go in your vlog. So I probably shouldn't start talking about my spiciest things.
Yeah, I do remember planting them. They look like they're going to be really big. They're 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 really big. checking in. It is now 7:16 p.m. I just put the kids to bed. Hopefully they'll go to sleep. And I have some things to show you. So I did wind up my yarn, and I think you will have seen a little video of that earlier. And here it is. Oh gosh, it is almost the same color of the tree. It is absolutely beautiful, and the kind of like shine you get back here is pretty accurate. It is a 50-50 superwash merino and silk. It is absolutely beautiful. This is by Dye Done. I think I did a little flick of the tag before. It's in there now. Dye Done is a Polish brand of hand-dyed yarn, Polish shop I should say, hand-dyed yarn, and I found this at Welniany Targ in Wrocław in December last year. We did plan our family holiday around where there was a yarn show. Yes, we did, because I don't have a local yarn shop near me. And I bought this with the salty air tea in mind. Now, I just realised I chose yarn. I did buy 2 quantities to make the salty air tea, this one and the brown one, and I put up on YouTube a little question of which one do you think I should use, and I included another one that I had 3 skeins of. The one I have 3 skeins of, I think in my mind is a more summery yarn. It's a lighter teal colour, but I decided because I had an extra skein than what I would need for the salty air tea, I would use that for a larger project and use this for this one. I haven't even checked if this is in fact 400 meters. 400 meters per 100 grams. So I think, I don't know how much extra that is, but 2 skeins is enough for my size for the salty air tea. I also couldn't find my 3.25mm needles, but I just had a thought that one of the projects I've been working on for the last 2 weeks had very small needles for the ribbing, and sure enough, 3.25mm for ribbing for this. The other one was DK. This is fingering weight. So yeah, I remember thinking when I was doing the ribbing on the other one, these needles are quite small for that. So I now have that. I have it in a project bag. I picked in my mind, a more springy one. It has flowers, and on the back, echidnas. I am Australian, and I did buy this fabric in Australia. I believe it's Ruby Star Society, but don't quote me on that. I did search for it for a long time to find it in this colour, and that was years ago, 5 years ago-ish. So if you find it now, I'd be very surprised. But I did get it in this colour, I think the grey and the blue as well, because I loved this fabric. And then inside I put gingham. Man, I love this bag. And I did make it specifically for socks, but it is a pretty good size for 2 skeins. It is, yeah, and I have a little llama pin there as well, which I got at some point. Yeah, this is a little different. I do have a tutorial here on YouTube that I will link below for making your own project bags. It is basically the same, except with this one I put little tags on the side, which is just literally sewing fabric on the side and then using the fabric as part of the zip in the other one. And then I obviously also did a panel for one side. The other side is just a plain piece of fabric. This isn't a sewing bag tutorial, but if you're interested in something like this, for one side, I just pieced together a few things, and then the other side is a single piece. And in the tutorial, it is a different size. It's more, I think that size, a single skein sock bag size. But I do give in the tutorial tips for how to change the size. And basically, so long as you have the front and the back and the lining all the same size, you can make it any size you want. This isn't about the bag. This is about the project. So, we drove back. We were planning to stop and go for a hike on the way back, but we realised that there were no dogs allowed. And we had our dog with us, so we skipped that part. We got Subway for lunch, which was a little bit of a treat for us. We like Subway, and as far as I know, there's none near us. There's definitely none in the places we go regularly. There used to be, and it shut down. So when we saw a Subway on the highway today, we went, yes, let's do it. And then we had leftovers for dinner. So while the kids were eating their dinner, because they did not have Subway, I did this winding, and then I wound up a whole lot of other stuff as well because it was out, and they were still eating. So I got a lot of winding done. I think I wound up another 7 skeins on top of these 2, but they were sport and DK mostly, so not as much time as fingering weight. What was I going to say? I am excited to cast this on. I have my needles. I have my Notions tin in here, which, yep, this is my Notions tin at the moment. This is the one that I had going. This was the container that my wrist ruler came in, that I bought from Kay of the Crazy Sock Ladies shop when that was open. It's not open anymore. I have seen them both at Makery in Canberra, and there is a Polish shop, and I'm not going to remember the name of it right now. They do a whole lot of leather tags, and I spoke to them about whether they had these, and they didn't, and then a couple of years later I noticed that they had them. Anyway, there are places that have them if you're interested in something like that. It's just a leather ruler that goes around my wrist. It's 16 inches long, and it has inches and centimetres, this one. But if you're buying one that's different, you might need to look at that. So, plans for now. Like I said, it's just after 7, maybe 7:20 now. I am about to do a bit of a clean with my husband. We got home after 2 weeks away, and anyone who's been away and stayed in like an Airbnb or something, generally they're very sparse. There's just not much stuff, not much clutter. Obviously when you move in you take stuff with you, but it's all very minimalist. Now, we are not a minimalist house, we are not a minimalist family, but we do have a lot of clutter, and a lot of clutter that we don't actually use. So, and a lot of doubles of things that we just don't need. So I've just messaged my Polish teacher, because she is one of my good friends here as well in Poland, and a fount of immeasurable information about where there is somewhere that we can take extra cups and baking dishes and things that we just don't need. Some of them I've just bought doubles of because I bought them and then they didn't fit in the oven, and so then I've bought more, but I haven't had somewhere to take the ones that I can't use. Anyway, so she's messaged me back while I've been talking to you, so I'm going to go read that message and find out what to do there. And then we're just going to set a timer for 30 minutes, and I'm going to go through kitchen stuff and decide what we're going to keep and what we're not going to keep, and hopefully in that process we'll be able to move some of the stuff that's on the top of the counter under the counter and just have a bit more of a peaceful kitchen. I wasn't cooking much when we were away, and so I didn't miss much cooking things because I wasn't cooking, but I do know that we have a lot of things that we don't use, or we use, you know, maybe once a year, that actually we don't need. And part of that is, yeah, when we moved to Poland, there were things that I couldn't find, and so I bought substitutes, and since then I found the thing that I was looking for, and so those things we can pass on to someone who does want them. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. 30 minutes of that, and then we're going to sit down and I'm going to cast this on. While I'm casting this on, we will probably watch Severance. It's a TV show that we started watching while we were away. We're in the second season now. It's interesting. It's very slow, and we have a lot of theories about what's actually happening behind the scenes in the show. It's one of those, it's kind of not what you think kind of things. Definitely not kid friendly. It's not got violence for violence sake, but there are definitely adult themes in it. And so we watch it when the kids go to sleep. Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't say I recommend it yet because I haven't seen it all, but what I've seen is interesting, although a bit slow. So we'll probably keep watching that, see if there's going to be kind of any big reveals as we get to the end of season 2. And then I think have a podcast to catch up on as well, if my husband just wants to watch an episode and then do something else. But first, we are going to clean, get some sorting done, and I will check back in later on when I've started the project. Oh, the t-shirt that I'm wearing. Check this out. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was thinking about knitting. I bought this on Spreadshirt here in Poland as well. I tried to find the last one that I wore, the jumper, that said, it's not my fault. I was left unsupervised and the fabric store was open. I bought them at the same time, but I couldn't find that one to show you, and it wouldn't let me go to my order without logging in. And so I gave up on linking that below. But yeah, I love this one as well. And I think it's quite rude if you don't listen to people you're with because you're thinking about knitting. But I also thought it was just very amusing. So I bought it. Yeah. And I'm just sitting outside. We've been away, and so the grass, these things here, there's another one here and down here. They are stepping stones, and the grass is higher than them now. So my husband will be mowing in the next few days. But yeah, it's just a nice evening, and I thought a change of scenery before we have dull inside lighting for the last few videos would be nice. Alright, I'll see you soon. Checking in. Oh gosh, the camera is wonky. It's probably going to continue to be somewhat wonky. Checking in for the end of the day. I did not get as much done as I had hoped for, but I will show you what I've done. Yeah, we had a good night. We did the cleaning. That went a little longer than planned. My daughter was still awake, so I had to run upstairs a couple of times to help her settle. And yeah, then I just kind of got a bit distracted. That's my alarm telling me to go to bed. And then when we finally sat down, I was just a bit tired and a bit spacey and didn't cast on straight away. Drinking a cup of tea. So this is what I have got. It's just half an inch of ribbing. I think the pattern calls for a rib of ribbing, an inch of ribbing. So I've got the same amount to go again. I think it's an alternate cable cast on from memory, but I just did a twisted drip cast on because, sorry, not even a long tail cast on, because that is what I find simple and easy and what I love to do. And I will do that with almost every project that, no matter what it says, almost every project I will do that one. The long tail cast on, and Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady has a tutorial for that if you don't know how to do it and are interested in learning. I am doing this on 100 centimeter needles, so 40-inch circulars, I think the pattern calls for a 16-inch circular, but either I don't have one, or it would have to be interchangeables, and my interchangeable 3.25s are not in the case, which just means they're on a project, so that's fine. So I'm doing this magic loop instead, and it is looking a little bit, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that even, it's looking a little bit stretched out and uneven, but it usually does at the beginning, and I can cinch that back in when I get to words, when I sew in the ends. The other thing I will say is with the long tail cast on and magic loop, I did struggle to get it joined. The first round was a little bit painful, the second round was a little bit better, and now it's back to just kind of normal magic loop feelings. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Tomorrow, I'm not going to include this in this. I will record a regular podcast in the next couple of days. I have 2 projects that I want to block, but it's been pretty sunny, so I'll try and make sure the ends are woven in tomorrow and block them, and then next week when the kids are back at school, I will try and record a regular podcast, and I will show you where I'm up to with this one, as well as all the other things I've been working on, and I will share April stats with you, which are pretty impressive. I'm a little bit surprised. All right, I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you so much. As always, comment down below if you are joining in, what you're making, what you've decided on. If you're not joining in the knit along, but you're still knitting on things or crocheting or making, then share that down below too. I'd love to read all of your comments. And remember, we do have that Ravelry page now for this podcast. So if you want to share photos of what you're making, head over there. I'll put the link down below, both for the group page and then also the discussion thread maybe. If I can do that separate, I will do that separate. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you for the next regular episode. Thank you for joining me today for the cast on. Bye.